The nerfs to Band-Aid and Zazak in patch 14.7 was a pretty big indirect nerf to the AP Janna build, which is why she was not nerfed despite her incredibly high win rate every patch. Freak talked about how Riot doesn't want supports to have their primary characteristic to be damage, which is why they nerfed a lot of the support damage items. I have a new updated build that's very similar to the old playstyle that specifically avoids a lot of these nerfs. You still play the same way in that the build focuses on maximum damage and speed while being very cheap. The runes are pretty much the same with Comet, Mana Flow Band, Celerity, and Scorch. Even though I'm one of the biggest Gathering Storm shills, I've been liking Scorch more with this setup. For the secondary, Relentless Hunter and Eyeball Collection. People always ask me why Eyeball over Zombie Ward. Zombie Ward does give the same amount of AP and provides a lot more utility, but you will stack Eyeball Collection a lot faster because you only need 10 KP as opposed to 10 boards. Finishing out the shards, we go flat AP, movement speed, and flat health. Seal order is the same with WMAX, and you should always take Flash Ignite with this setup. For the items, on first back, I always prioritize getting tier 1 boots and then a Dark Seal. After that, I always rush Swifties because it's one of Janna's strongest power spikes. Once you have Swifties and Dark Seal, if you're playing against a lot of champions that heal, which is a lot more common now in this enchanter meta, buy Oblivion Orb. Janna's autos apply healing reduction because her passive deals bonus magic damage, so it's actually a great item on her. If you do build Oblivion Orb, I'll just sit on the tier 1 version and then go Shurelya's right after. By getting Shurelya's as a first item, we avoid the Codex nerf from 14.6 and the Mandate nerf in 14.7. Also, Shurelya's as a first item is OP because you can catch out people even more, and it also gives you a lot more damage. Here's how much my autos and W do at level 9 with Shurelya's and no active, and here's how much the auto and W does with the Shurelya's active. Sometime around these items, you'll finish your quest, and I like running Dreammaker now for my upgrade. I think Zazak was nerfed a bit too hard, and while Solstice Slay gives us more movement speed and synergizes well with this build, I think Dreammaker has more value. Slay is a 30-second cooldown compared to Dreammaker's 8-second cooldown. You can easily proc Dreammaker 3 times within the 30-second window because of how Janna's E gets cooldown refunded with CC and her ult. I also like that because you are going WMAX, your shield is weak by itself in the mid game, but with Dreammaker it gets buffed fat even at low ranks. As for the second item, I go Mandate. Now I know I got nerfed, but the 2% isn't even that bad, and the item is just too good to give up for Janna. There's no other 2300 item that gives as much AP and has as much synergy and damage as Mandate. Dreammaker, Swifties, Dark Seal, Shurelya's, and Mandate is going to be your core, and you can flex your third item. You can go any of these items in the pool, just mix and match based on what your team needs. If you're very behind, you can sell your Dark Seal early and get something else. Once you get your third item, we finish out the build with our least favorite support item, Watchful Wardstone. That's pretty much the build. I'm not going to go over a lot of tips and tricks because I went over all of them in the last video, but I'll give you guys a cool little trick you can do with Mejai. If you die, you can upgrade Dark Seal to Mejai and get 2 stacks per assist, and then you can refund it to get those stacks on Dark Seal. You can also do this the same way where if you die early without Dark Seal, you can buy it as you're dead, and if you get an assist, you can get the stacks. Janna is pretty much still as OP as she was at the start of the season, so she's 1000% going to get nerfed. I think a good way to nerf her is to tone down her movement speed and damage. Next patch, check back in because you already know I'm going to cook up a build that's best for her.